moves, they're not hard to find. Strong arm tactics so loud, only themselves in mind. Every player has dreams of making ORCA fame. They'll live on in the minds of those who get in their way. Orcas all say, don't come for me. Mid-merge boots, they're so vain. As we set up the podcast webcam, the pod is here to talk ORCA game. ORCA King CK with delusions of fame. In this LRG world, he's the apex predator. Danny and Jules in tow, always ready to go. Now it's time for the show. They're the apex predators.
Hello and welcome to the ORCA Pod, the Apex Predators of Australian Survivor LRG podcasting. We are here starting our coverage of a brand new season of LRG, a brand new season of Sydney Survivor 2. For those of you watching live, I'm sure many of the cast is here, will be here shortly, as they are keen to hear what the Orcas think about them from a 3-minute video and a meet the cast picture. There's nothing we love more than to judge books by their covers. And that's what we're going to do tonight on this live draft. We'll be selecting who we think is going to take out the crown of ORCA of the Year. Because we don't care who wins. If you watched our podcast, that's not what it's about. It's not about winning. It's not about being strategically great. We all know to win Survivor, you've got to be boring as batshit just to flick through to the end and sit next to someone slightly less likable than you. That's how you win Survivor, right? We know that. We're here for the characters and the stars. But we also draft who we think is going to win. We're going to be drafting who's going to win. We're going to draft who's going to be the big characters, who's going to entertain our screens, and who we don't draft for this, but it's a question of who will be the Bromelo medalist of this season, who will join the illustrious ranks of the Congress of the Orcas, made up of those persons who were deemed by their fellow Orcas to be the most ORCA of their particular season. This is the ultimate victory. If you won this season, then if you got this on top, you'd be incredible. If you lost, this is now what you care about. This is now what you live for, to be immortalized in time as one of the Orcas. And we'll get into our coverage about how you become one of these illustrious Orcas. But joining me tonight was supposed to be 3 Orcas, and I've sort of stuffed up the timing, and that's on me. That's my bad. Sorry, Dom. But there'll be 3 Orcas here to draft this cast and give their opinions on what we think of them. So without further ado, let me first bring in, one's waiting and one's walking. So we'll go with the one that's waiting, because I think that gives the walking one a little bit more time. He deserves a drum roll, so let me get that going. Welcome, Marc.
Hello.
I see that you've... There you go, sorry.
I was going to say, filling dead air time is a specialty of mine.
Good.
Backyard Survivor runtime would have been half as long if I wasn't around, so let's go.
You got to fill it up. I see you have claimed in your byline that you are an extrovert. I'm actually also wearing the extrovert buff. Sometimes it's a hard choice which buff to wear, but I know which tribe I would be in. It would be the extrovert.
That was my thing. I'm you know what? I'm actually really excited for this draft. I liked a lot more of the introverts than what I thought I would. I went through the playlist top to bottom this afternoon, so they're all fresh in my mind. So yeah, I actually had a moment about which tribe am I rooting for, but it went down to where would I be sorted. So,
we've got to go with the ones that we think the orca is going to come from, right? If an orca comes from the introverted tribe, I will be.
Want that to happen. That would be
it's
amazing.
Possible.
I love the narrative.
There's a contender or two, maybe. And she's walking fast. She's trying to get from dinner to her hotel, I presume. But let's bring her in for the formalities. The ORCA, I should have announced you, Marc, as the ORCA of Backyard 5, the Bounty Hunter. This is the ORCA of Canberra 3. Loz, welcome.
Hi! Oh my goodness. Yes, I am walking. You have caught me today at an inopportune moment. Clearly, I'm not in Papua New Guinea. I'm walking by myself somewhere, well, almost by myself. So I'm clearly not in Papua New Guinea. So, yeah, I am going to be in the car for a little while, and then I will get home, and then I will switch to the laptop, and then we'll be all under control.
Is this legal for you to be driving in the car?
I'm not driving. I'm a passenger.
Okay.
I do have to put a seatbelt on though.
As an officer of the law,
driving.
It certainly. As an officer of the law, that was going to be a particularly concerning thing. Now, so Dom was supposed to be here. Croissant King Dom was supposed to be here, and it's all my fault. I got the times wrong. Doing multiple podcasts right now. It's all a significant challenge. Loz needed an early start. We're normally a bit later than this. But, we have to make do with what we've got.
Not just me. Marc was very happy with an early start as well.
Yes. We've all got the early start. I prefer a later start. Look forward to that cast in the future.
Yeah,
okay, so now...
don't have things on tomorrow, so...
True. Okay, so we're going to randomize...
At the moment. I'm just difficult.
We're going to randomize the order. Give me a second to bring that up. Here it is. You can see that, sort of. Okay, we're going to randomize that. Randomize. Okay, so the order is Loz, then me, and then Marc.
I was last time, but I still...
Well, that's what you get. Loz, you're in the car. You've got the most important pick. Who do you want to pick first?
Okay, I don't have all my notes with me, and I actually do have a ton of notes. I quite enjoyed these Meet the Casts. And there are a few people that I thought I felt a little bit obligated to pick first. But I'm going to go with, I think, a very controversial pick. My first pick is Oscar.
Are you trying to redeem your relationship with Survivor players named Oscar? Is this the attempt here?
Why would I need to do that? I have nothing to redeem myself for or anybody else. I stand by everything that I ever said about any other Oscar in any other game. No, I 100% am here for... sorry. All right, so what I loved about Oscar was he's an introvert. He's one of the introvert tribe, which to me is a unique pick for myself because we know how I feel about introverts generally. And I love introverts, but not necessarily in Survivor. However, Oscar said he does not care how he plays in the game. He doesn't care what happens in the game. And he thinks it would be really funny to vote out the person first who is the most serious about playing Survivor. And initially I thought, wow, what a dick. That's a really dick thing to say. And then I thought, that is the kind of orca energy that I'm going to be here for in Survivor Sydney, Season 2. And I just loved it. I think it's ballsy, I think it's fun, and I think he can bring a whole lot of energy, and I think he's also going to be charismatic and likable.
I think Oscar has the potential to be a king amongst men because I think he knows. I think he's got a little bit of extrovert in him. He talked about how he likes extroverts, over the top, fun times. I think this guy could be the king of the introverts. He could be the coolest kid in the library.
There was a vibe, and I maybe it was the extroverted vibe that he gave. Maybe he is an introverted extrovert or an extroverted introvert. I feel like this will be a conversation we have back and forth considerably across this season. But the fact that he was willing to play a chaotic game and make big moves, that was immediately what I gravitated to.
Love it.
I want to see after our last season. I want to see moves. I want to see some drama. I want to see some chaos. I want to see players stepping up and taking risks that may get them turfed out of the game. And look, Oscar will probably get kicked out of the game for a really big risky move, but at least we'll get the really big risky move.
Love it.
I like that you picked this because I had Oscar low on my list, but not because of gameplay, but just because of how I draft. Like, I basically tier people. I'm like, do I think they would vote me out round one? And I absolutely thought that Oscar would try and vote me out round one. So he was low on my list for that reason. But it's a respect thing. It's completely out of respect.
That is a very different way of looking at it, and I absolutely did not look at it that way. And absolutely, Oscar would try to take me out. And now that you've mentioned it, I'm second guessing my choice slightly.
He would want to take me out too. This motherfucker would want to gut me like a fish.
Yes.
I'd be terrified of this motherfucker. Terrified.
I'd be terrified as well because like I would never go for him. That's the other thing. Is like I'd have someone more on my Loz would see that.
Absolutely. And he's going to be charming enough and charismatic enough that even though I think he'll be a massive dick, you'll keep him around because you don't even realize how big a dick he's being behind the scenes.
You can't talk about massive dick like that. Josh isn't in the podcast tonight. He's going to get very jealous.
Oh, that's right. Okay, my apologies. So no, look, Oscar is my first pick. I think it's a controversial first pick. I'm a little bit proud of myself for making a controversial pick first up, and I'm glad I've got him.
Now, I've got the next pick, and I've got to go. I can only go in one direction. I can only go in one place. You know, I'm pretty sure we were yet to create the concept of an orca. We might have, but notwithstanding whether it was created, I think we had created it. And you can see that this person in their interview they're the first person ever to go into their game with a mindset that, you know what, I don't care about winning because to win, you need to be boring. And I would rather be the character of this season than be boring. So it's got to be Mac for me, the Mac Daddy. I love how much he's big noting himself just in this 3-minute intro video. His biggest strength is his personality. He reckons he'll make personal jokes with everyone and give them a nickname. I reckon he's going to call half the guys in his tribe Big Dog or something, right? Like just bloke out with Ian and Shane. I reckon he can bloke out with them. I reckon he can like fit in. I've met this guy. He can fit in with most crews. And his biggest weakness is that he's too awesome. Basically, that's what he said. His biggest weakness is he's too awesome, and you have to undersell yourself. You have to underplay yourself to win Survivor. If you're too good and everyone knows it, you've got Buckley's chance. So he doesn't know if he can do that. He's going to be elite at the challenges. He's a chess champion. This guy thinks he is the greatest thing on earth. And I'm not far behind him. I think he's pretty elite. And I have to also always go with my long-haired bros. Mac specifically grew his hair long because he thought it would help him get cast on Australian Survivor, which is yet to occur. But, because every guy on Australian Survivor is just a short-haired bro. So he's gone the long-haired bro because they tend to cast them a bit more. So that's why he's still got the long hair. I think when he cuts that hair off is when he officially gives up on ever being cast on Australian Survivor, because I think he secretly hates the hair, to be perfectly honest. But he still wants to be cast. I love the hair. I love the orca attitude. He's been telling me since the moment I met him that he'll be the orca of this season. We'll have to see if that plays out for him.
I had Mac as number one on my list as well. Just confident, like strategic. I love anyone that can like claim that they are the top 1% in something. Not that he used those words, but I believe he'd view himself as a top 1% individual, and I do as myself. So I was kind of like, yeah, I see it. I like it. He's in my team. I like this guy.
I want to be Mac. I didn't pick him because I'm jealous and I just want to be him. So screw Mac. I'm not going to pick you. If I get like reincarnated, maybe I'll come back as Mac if I'm lucky. I don't know.
See, I can see this man like doing the most, but also getting away with the most at the same time. Like he just has that energy of like he could like gut you in the street and you'd forgive him and buy him a box of chocolates the morning after. Like he's just that smile can do anything, right? So I could see him getting like final six while having a really big resume.
He's got cheeky, tradie vibes. That always goes far in Australia and stuff like that. Mark, you now get 2 picks back to back, but who do you want to deem with the first round?
I kind of want to go an introvert and an extrovert, but I'm really struggling because I feel like the extrovert on my list is she will definitely go in before I get to claim another player, but I'm gonna go with Morgan. Okay, so I went with Morgan because I love a legacy player. What she said about Survivor connecting her family together, I thought was quite beautiful. I do think she can come across a little bit abrasive, but she's really thought about her character on the show, and she really thinks about like what she's going to say in certain scenarios. And I think that some of that abrasiveness just comes across with the character she's constructed, but that won't necessarily who she will be once the game is afoot. I think that she has a really good mindset in terms of like the over-the-top Survivor fan probably isn't going to be the winner of this season, but she has enough knowledge and enough savvy to know enough without having to play too hard. So that's why I'm going Morgan.
I think it's a very sensible pick. I think she's going to have the skills. Her brother was an elite player, and surprisingly cerebral. Luke was one of the most interesting people I've ever interviewed because when I interviewed him, I had no idea he was so cerebral. I thought he was just a bit of a jock. And that's how he came across in his edit as well. But a very bright guy, very eloquent and very well spoken. And I think Morgan will probably be of a similar ilk. I think not being a huge super fan will help, but with some knowledge of the game, I think she's well placed. I think she will be good at the physical aspects as she's identified. I think it's not an ORCA pick, but I think it's a very sensible winner pick, Mark.
Yeah, thank you. And then my second pick,
Sorry. Did you have anything to say about that?
Yeah. Just quickly, I agree. I think Morgan came across as an absolute sweetheart, and her story about the way it brought her family together and wanting to play for her brother again, to do what he couldn't do. I love the whole thing. My only concern with Morgan is that there are several younger women on the Introverts tribe that to me had very similar kind of stories almost very similar strategies, and they felt a little interchangeable. And my only concern is that Morgan, if she doesn't kind of step up to make her own mark, could easily be kind of taken out by someone who's almost, playing a very, very similar game. And so I hope she differentiates herself. I think that's what I'm hoping for with Morgan is, we do see her step up into her own kind of game and not just hang in the background and that under the radar.
Okay. Do I draft for fun or do I draft for who I think's going to win? That's the question. That is the question. I think my next pick is I really want to draft a particular player, but I'm going to leave it. I'll just glaze her very strongly when someone else picks her up immediately after this. But I'm going to go with Tim from the Introverts as well.
2 introverts. What's going on with you?
Sometimes you got to break the mold. I saw Loz's reaction. I think she's unhappy with this pick for me.
She wanted Tim, did she?
I think she did.
You want Tim?
I wanted Tim. He's absolutely delightful. I want to be in an alliance with him. I wanted to draft him.
Yeah.
The only,
I
the only thing I wrote down about this guy was awkward laugh count. Are we going to be doing that on the show? The awkward.
Look, I could see him on a U Survivor. Just the way that he interviewed, the way that he came across, like kind of a placid personality, but with a real strong drive at the same time. I got good vibes from Tim. I feel like he's going to be a big threat at some point in the game. There'll be lots of discussion about him, and it'll be up to his early gameplay to see how far he can get. But yeah, strong vibes from Tim.
Okay. Now for my next pick, look, I'm picking again for someone that I know. I've known this gentleman for a long time. I've been with him in pivotal moments of his life. I was with him when he played a 50-day org with Annabelle and just gifted her an idol at like the final 6 for no fucking reason whatsoever. But she already had an idol, and then she got voted out with 2 idols. We cast him on Uncharted Waters. He hurt himself. I was actually next to him when he got his email saying he was going to be on Sydney 2. It's all about Annabelle. I was at Annabelle's launch party for Traitors, and she didn't invite many people, but I was invited and Tyrone was invited. So Tyrone and I go back many, many years of connections. And I think that Ty is going to be an excellent player on these introverts. I think that I think he's got the social skills to connect with everybody, but I think he also, at the same time, has the potential to provide us with some incredible character moments. He's actually like one of the nicest guys you ever meet. Like when he cares about you, he will give you the world. As I said, he played this 50-day org with Annabelle, and for some reason just gave her an idol. Like we thought it was fake or something. Like we didn't know what the hell was going on. He works for Tennis Australia. He helps his friends get tickets to the Australian Open all the time. But equally, I think if you're not with his group, if you're not loyal to the bone, he will gut you in a second and make a snide remark over your body. And that's the sort of player that I'm looking forward to seeing. I think he can build some strong bonds with the introverts while also providing some incredible confessionals. He's physically strong. I think he's going to be an excellent contributor to this season and to my draft team.
While Loz gets set up on the laptop, I'll jump in. Look, again, I got the vibe. I could see that. Everything you said about him being really loyal to his group, I see that. But I am very self-interested, and I just know that he would gut me like a fish. So I had him low on my team. I didn't really vibe with Ty. But I think my reasoning was a bit different. I can envision the rest of the introvert tribe kind of blocking him out for being probably one of the more extroverted people in that group. He seems to like have really strong ideas about like how he wants the game to play out. So I could see the rest of the introverts forming a bit of a wall around him, maybe including him in 1 or 2 votes, and then possibly
take him out. You still there?
Yeah, I'm still there. I was waiting for like a reverb of that.
Sorry, we didn't finish your sentence.
So I have a tumultuous relationship with Ty. I played another org with Tyrone, and he absolutely did make me feel like I was his number one and the most important person in the entire world, and until I was not. And I'm not bitter at all. I mean, okay, maybe a little tiny, itty little bit. I really did want to pick him first because for 2 reasons. I think he has the capacity to win the game, and I think he has the capacity to be ORCA of the game as well. So it's kind of my brain was telling me, pick Tyrone. But that little slightly bitter side of me said, no, don't pick Tyrone. Don't do that. So look, I'm glad you got him, CK, and I think he's going to be phenomenal. I think he's going to give absolute villain energy. I think he's going to be a dominant player on the introvert tribe because I do think he's more extroverted than introverted in my experience. He knows the game. and he's incredibly charismatic. And that's
This is the whole Oscar thing. Like, if Oscar's going to be targeting an extroverted introvert, or like the person who wants to be there the most, you can't tell me Ty's not going to give that energy of, I want to play this game and I want to play the game hard.
yes, but I think Ty will be far more influential than Oscar. I think Oscar will try to make the moves. I think Ty will control them.
Yeah, I can see Ty working well with who's our like teacher mother character.
Beck.
Yeah, I can kind of
Ty
see
can work
that.
with whoever he chooses. He's a chameleon. He can adapt and adjust. And so whoever he decides is in his best interest, I think he will be able to work with them very effectively.
I love how you have the burn book ready. You're just like, the Ty page is open, you're reading out. There's a bathroom wall somewhere in Papua New Guinea just dedicated to Ty in this orc.
Hey, I was vulnerable. I was emotionally vulnerable.
Tyrone is a mean girl.
All right, I'm going to switch. I'm going to jump out of this and switch to my laptop.
Oh, but it's okay. Well, we'll take that moment while Loz is doing that. We've done 5 picks. But look, it's time for a quick pause. We used to do.
I can try.
We used to do the ORCA of the season. We used to do the People's Champion coming in with the 7th pick, because we had 3 people making 6 picks each, and there's a leftover person or whatever. I've got those numbers wrong. But we've decided here to, and we brought this in recently, to give everyone a chance to be the people's champion. And for those that have not followed our podcast before, this is affecting everyone on the cast. This is affecting everyone that lives in Sydney and is part of the Survivor community in Sydney, or would like to travel to Sydney. Previous Sydney Survivor contestants, crew, followers, whomever. If the people's champion, who I spin up on the wheel in a moment, I'll get the wheel going. If they are spun up, the people's champion, if they make the top 5, then I will fly to Sydney and put on the ORCA drinks with a tab of 1,000 wing wangs for you all to drink me dry of my own hard-earned cash. So we've done this 3 times. Eden, in Loz's season of Canberra, was the people's champion and just fell into 5th. In Marc's season of Backyard, Zoe was the people's champion, made it all the way to 3rd. So we've had ORCA drinks in Canberra and in Perth. People know I'm good for it. We also hand out the ORCAs in attendance with their Bromelo medals at that particular event. So it's a special occasion. On Melbourne, sadly, the people's champion was the first boot, but I gave the ORCAs a chance to redeem, and they were able to do so. So there's always room if they go out early. But let's get the wheel up. Oh, just give me 1 second to add that to the stage, and then we will spin the wheel to find out who the fans and the crew and the community of Sydney Survivor will be relying upon to take me out of my hard-earned cash. Let's go. Oops. What happened? Sorry. What has happened? I've added a wheel.
This is how CK chooses the cast of his seasons. He just like spins the wheel of random names from the application.
Okay. I'm good now. I had wheel. All right. Good. Let's go. Oh, it's Ty. Tyrone is the people's champion. Let's see. I don't know about that, to be honest. He could make it, but he could get booted early. It's a risk. It's a risk, but it's a risk I'm willing to take. Let's hope Tyrone can do it for the people. Now, if you were there that season, no spoilers, please. We don't want to know if he just cost me $1,000. We want to find out as we go on with the show. All right, Loz, who is your pick?
Okay, my next pick, and until I caught up on the videos Oscars today,
my number one pick had already been locked in, and that is Maddie. So Maddie just, wow. Oh my gosh. Where we're talking about our introverted or our extroverted introverts, that is Maddie all over. She has the ability to sit in either camp. She has such a,
Mark, are you getting some
I think
breaking
in
up,
the
Loz?
extroverts tribe.
Loz, I think you have to go back to your phone. You're getting some bad.
Okay, all right, I'll go back to my phone.
We can't hear all your eloquent takes.
I can jump in here and glaze Maddie for a little bit. This was who I was referring to about, do I pick her? Do I not? I just know she's not going to be left on the table with Loz around. Yeah, she came across so vivacious, so welcoming, and like such a player in her video. She's got like the athletic background, but she also kind of downplays that a little bit and is just really kind of authentic and in the moment. So I could really see her like making friends, making connections, being everyone's number one, and then like voice of reason they turn to. She doesn't seem like someone who's gonna panic. She doesn't seem like she's gonna, freak out when the vote's up for discussion. She seems like very level-headed and very reassuring. So excited for Maddie this season.
Loz, do you want to say, has Mark covered it all, or do you want to say what you're excited about Maddie?
I only heard the end, but yes, all of those things. So notes I had, she's got a great vibe, a really likable vibe, and I can't imagine finding a reason to target her because she's so nice, but clearly super intelligent, super handle on the game, will fly under the radar in the extrovert tribe and be that person that they're able to go to, because extroverts want to be listened to. And I think Maddie will be that person who listens to the big players and makes them feel comfortable and makes them feel safe and then cuts their throat. For me, I got winner vibes from Maddie.
All right. And now who do you want to take with your next pick?
All right. So Tim is gone. I loved Tim, and I could have gone with Tim's.
I wasn't letting you take both of those two. I'm sorry, baby.
I know, and that's fair. Okay, my next is going to be Shane. Because you can't have him because you took Tim. A lot of the players this season talked about how they'd applied multiple times for Australian Survivor and Endemol Shine didn't want them and rejected them. And I mean, I know a lot of us in the community are the same, but I felt that from every one of them in my bones because I'm exactly the same. They didn't want me either. And I don't know why. And, Shane said, the LRG isn't the second, the next best thing, the second best thing. I can say, having not played real Survivor, it's the best thing. So I felt for him there. He gave me really charming, charismatic vibes, and I can absolutely see him in a tribe swap, getting with some of the girls potentially from the Introverts tribe, Morgan, Tilly potentially, and just building a really good, strong kind of relationship because he's so authentic and going really, really far. And he's got a ton of life experience. He's one of the older ones in the tribe, but he's got Ian, and Ian's going to be way, way bigger target, I think, than Shane, and will make himself a bigger target. And I think if Shane can coast through those first couple of votes until a tribe swap, I think he's got a really good shot.
Do you think that people love hearing his interesting stories as he believes they do?
I don't think it'll matter. If he can keep his stories to himself for a couple of votes, I think he'll get to a tribe where there will be people who will be interested in his stories, and it'll all be okay in the world.
I think people will be interested. Like, to be honest, he races cars and blows shit up. I think people will probably be reasonably interested in
He's
the stories.
cool. Oh my
They're
goodness.
interesting.
I thought I was impressed. I
Mm.
liked the whole vibe from him. And there are so many in your face extroverts in this tribe that the extroverts who have enough self-awareness to rein it in a little bit and play it down a little bit to get through that first stage, I think will do really well.
Yeah, this is
I
my
think,
thing.
yeah.
Okay, I feel like he's an extrovert in the sense that he gets where he's gotten to in life, where he comes across as just being quite successful and fulfilled. And it looks like someone who doesn't say no to a lot of things, like someone who gets out there, has a go, tries things, and just like gains that experience as he goes through. I really liked him. West Australian player as well, so got to look after your home turf. But yeah, I agree with Loz. If he can just get through those first couple of rounds, and it seems like there are going to be some people on that tribe that do naturally stick out. So as long as he can like keep a lid on the kind of let me tell you my life story, and you get that room in this game because it's so quick. You don't have time to rub people the wrong way before you shepherd off to the next challenge. So as long as he like, and I agree, I think his place really is in a mixture of the introverts and extroverts. Hopefully, people aren't too tribal line focused. But yeah, I could really see him finding his people and being in a seat of power. But it's whether or not he can actually fall into that seat. But it would be great to see. Also, just one more thing on this monologue. I don't think the age for him will be an issue unless he makes it an issue. If he points out his age and he points out that's the reason he sticks out, I could see that being an Achilles heel. But just the way that he comes across and the other people in the game, I don't think they're going to be looking at that.
Yeah.
The Tyrone's here. I don't know if he's just arrived because he's waving to you, Loz. But if you just arrived, Tyrone, you've been drafted by yours truly, and you were spun up as the people's champion. So a lot of people put their hopes on you. Loz also spoke about how you burned her in that org. So go back and look at that for your memories of all the Tyrone content that occurred about 15 minutes ago. It's now time for me to make another pick. And look, sometimes I'm influenced by who's in the chat because were you in the chat, Mark? And I still drafted you last.
Yeah, I was like one of the few people there, and I was the second last pick.
And I felt bad about that. I still got you, but I felt bad about that. So you're in the chat. You're gonna go up the levels. And I don't know too much about this person, except that they were successful in getting the money and the buff from the hidden David Jeanette buff in Melbourne. I was very close to getting the one in Adelaide. I missed it by 2 or 3 minutes. But I know that you had to be quick on your feet. You had to have a good knowledge of your city and basically nothing else to do with your life except try and win a random buff. And I like that approach to this and to this game. And I think as a result, we're going to see that Belle will be able to bring those perseverance skills to Sydney Survivor and succeed. So I'm going to be picking Belle. I do believe strongly that flight attendants are strong players in Survivor. I think that they are dealing with just the worst of fucking people all the fucking time, but they have to be positive about it, and all different sort of walks of life, that they have to deal with. I think Loz is frozen. I'm just going to remove her.
Yeah, well, like your flight, you've got your Bali Bogans and you've got your rich celebrities at the same time, right? So you got to have that dichotomy.
Exactly. So I think flight attendants have the best skill set for Survivor. I think she has that skill set to bring. She has the passion for Survivor. And I like that, what she said, which I think is very true. She can socialize with anyone, even the introverts. That's what she thinks about them, by the way. But even the introverts she can socialize with, and I believe. So that's why I've gone with Belle. Tyrone would like to flirt us all in a dark bar. Thank you, Tyrone.
I think that's really important, though, because like a lot of the questions about introverts and extroverts had the introverts really pointing daggers towards the extroverts, right? And a few, it happens both ways. But they're going to be looking for those people that they can work with and people that don't fit that preconceived idea of what an extrovert is. So I think that's a really, really good nuance that Belle has over some other people.
Do you have any
Lost me there?
thoughts? Do I have to unmute her? No, she's muted herself. Loz is having some significant tech issues. Who would have thought the tech in Papua New Guinea is better than in Canberra? Then we can blame Malcolm Turnbull for that shit show. Fiber doesn't know my ass.
So I had Shane followed by Beck on my list. So feeling a little bit robbed by the two of you, but it's okay. It's okay. We'll make it back.
You've got to make a pick. I'm just going to try and help Loz with her tech. So who do you want to pick, Mark?
Ooh, I'm going into my lower. I get 2 right back to back.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Well, I am getting down my list now. I've got an honorable mention, someone who I don't think is going to do really amazing in the game, but I'll leave that for next. So my next pick, I'm going to go with Tilly from the Introvert Tribe. Look at me drafting all the introverts.
What is going on with you?
I've got an extrovert coming up next, don't you worry. But I'm going to go with Tilly. Now, I had a couple of good things. Like, she does seem really sociable. I'm getting KK vibes from the last Canberra season, where I can see her just kind of surviving through the game, maybe not having the most impact. But I can't see her being an early target. So purely for draft points, I think that Tilly will be someone we will see for quite a while. I really hope she has more of an impact on the game than what I'm getting from her package. But I don't think that she'll be a target for many people.
Okay. What did I think about Tilly? I thought that she fights her. I feel like she fights her introvert nature and dreams of being an extrovert. She says, of course, she's flirted to get her way. Every woman has. Do you agree with that, Loz? Has every woman flirted to get their way? You need to unmute yourself.
Sorry. Yes, absolutely.
Everyone.
So is every man. I don't think it's unique to anybody. I think everybody flirts at some point to get their way.
Do you think that her flirtatious nature is just going to scare away the male introverts, or do you think they're down for it?
I don't think that LRGs are the place where flirting works to get you ahead, in my experience.
Okay, not worth flirting here. Got it. What do you think, Mark? You flirted your way through the season.
Didn't really work. Look, I still have a hang up over whatever. Didn't want to get into it. I felt like the ugly duckling on my season, and I was like, then who's the hot one? If it's not me, who is it? Like, that's how I felt. But okay, Jacob. I think Jacob just kind of had that mantle pretty firmly.
Yeah, Jacob was definitely the hot one. But there was weird conversations going about how DC was considered like the muscle man.
The buffer, yeah, it was things like that where it was like, okay, so if Jacob's number 1, I'm not even on the fucking voting paper. Like that was what really got me, and I was like, who else is whatever. Just season 5 was a dark time. But if anyone could do it, she could possibly do it. And I'd love to see her and Josh fighting for Loz. Who was the player in your season that people were obsessed with? Ed. Imagine those two trying to flirt with Ed. Cinema.
Yeah, well,
there is a world where this can happen. It just doesn't happen in the first season. All right, so that was Tilly. Can I move on to my next pick?
Yes.
All right, my next pick. This is my honorable mention. I don't necessarily think this extrovert will make it far in the game. I think we're in a bit of a Nat situation where they're going to cause a bit of an explosion early, and there might be some hell to pay for. Loz, I think she knows where I'm going with this.
Yes.
And that's going to be Rissa.
She was my next.
Rissa. Now, let me get started. She opened her mouth, and I'm just the first few words I went, first boot. She's someone who cannot help but have her say, and I love that about her. If there's a player who could get ORCA of the season just from their Meet the Cast video, I'm getting Rissa already. Like I started out by being like, you're not suited for this game. But then she kept speaking. And it wasn't even her story. I know there's the awful situation with the cancer diagnosis and how that's been a challenge for her. But even removing that storyline, before she got to that, she had won me over just by her philosophy on life and how she's. I can't even remember the words that she said because I digested all these videos in one go. But then I got that storyline and the emotional beat on top of it, and I was fully sold and fully invested in this character just based off their philosophy and how they live their life. And I don't know if it's going to work in this game. She also doesn't seem like she's going to use her situation for sympathy. She seems stronger than that. But if she does, whatever, like, we can't control how the game works out. But I hope she gets the experience that she deserves because she has so much life in her. And I'm just so invested in her story. Win or lose, rain, hail, or shine, I want Marissa on my team because I want someone to authentically root for, and I'm obsessed.
It's a tough situation for her because I don't think she wants to use her illness, based on the 3-minute video I watched, as a game tactic. It would be a very effective game tactic, particularly in a 2-day game. But I don't think she wants to use it that way. But it's also a huge part of who she is. And getting to know her authentically is knowing this journey that she's presently on. So it seems like she's very open about it. She's very upfront about it. And it would be difficult for her not to, perhaps talk about it when she's talking about who she is.
That's what I was trying to say when I was like, it's hard for her because how do you not include your real life story? Because you do get emotional with these people and you are trying to connect. And yeah, so it's like, I can envision this coming up in the game at some point. If it does, it doesn't, whatever. But I don't think that she just seems like someone who is completely authentic in herself. So it doesn't matter if it does or if it doesn't. It just matters how people receive it and treat it. And it's like, I don't know, it's a difficult one.
I present to you the challenge of this. If you were aware that she had terminal cancer, would that prevent you from voting her out? Because this might be her one chance. But for many of these people, this will also be their one chance, right? So I feel like pre-merge, I probably couldn't do it unless it was me or her. If it's me or her, then I'm not laying down on the sword for it. But if it's post-merge, I think, she's had the experience. She's been on the jury and she probably just she would want me to respect her enough to play the game properly with her. That's probably how I would tackle it if I was aware of this information.
I think I would try and play as neutrally as possible and look at the game, not necessarily someone's outside factors. Like if we were already going head to head, well, I'm sorry, that doesn't change things. But if it was kind of like we're picking people from the bottom and that came out, I think I'd be similar. Like I wouldn't be looking to cut someone's experience early for it, but I would try and be as game neutral as possible, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Look, everyone's experience and who they are becomes a part of the game. And as much as we all love the game, I'm a firm believer that it's the community and what you get outside of the game that ends up mattering a whole lot more than necessarily what happens in the game. And I think for me, my main note on Rissa, and I was obsessed. I was the same as you, Marc. The more she talked, the more I was into her. But my main note was, I hope you can rein this energy in to get far enough in the game to actually get the full experience. Because it's great to want to come in and play balls to the wall and absolutely try to, chaos it up and all the rest. But that doesn't get you longevity in the game. You might get to do that for a vote or 2 votes and then you're out. And there's so much more game to be had. So much of it is biding your time and reining that in a little bit. And this is where the extroverts will struggle. The introverts will have to push themselves to take risks. The extroverts will have to wind it back a little bit. I hope Rissa does that, because I think what she could get out of making it to merge, making it to jury, will be so much more than, you know, making it through maybe just the first phase of the game. Either way, I think I'm sure the community side of it has been hopefully everything she imagined, the way it has for me at least, you know, dreaming of Survivor. The community's been all of that as well. So I hope she's, wherever she kind of falls in the game, that's the experience that she's hoping for.
Yeah,
I just have got nothing to lose. And she says, favorite quote from her for me was just, who doesn't want to be famous? Everyone wants to be famous. Such an extroverted statement.
Yeah. And like, this is the thing, in her game analysis, I want to focus more on the person, not the medical situation, right? And just before we even, as I said, I already said this, but before I even learned the piece of information, I bought what she was selling. So I really hope, I'm excited to be invested in this story, because I think this could be one of the fun ones to follow.
Okay, so it's my pick next, and I'm glad he's fallen this far, to be honest, because I think this guy has some potential to maybe be the ORCA of the season. I think we're going to get a lot of insight. I think you get a lot of insight about a person by meeting their parents. And I think we're going to get a lot of wonderful insight into the illustrious host of Sydney Survivor from seeing Ian on our screens. I think Ian is going to be a huge character. I don't think this guy has the capability to do anything but take the bull by the horn and try to strong arm his entire tribe into doing things the way he wants it done. That could mean he lasts a very short period of time, but I do believe that he has strong ORCA potential in the strong arming category. I can't see this guy going with anybody's flow but his own, and I'm looking forward to seeing how that goes with a bunch of other incredibly large personalities. Someone said earlier, I think when they picked Shane, that they saw the potential of these two connecting. I think that's possible, and I think that could be very good for Ian if there's the possibility of a connection there.
Ian, Ian just gave me first boot vibes. I want to say just play it down, just rein it in a bit, but I don't know that he's going to be able to do it. But I hope whatever we get out of Ian, we get at least, maybe 1-2 votes, but I think it'll be gold. I think his confessionals will be gold. I think the friction he creates amongst the extroverts will be great to watch. And yeah, I'm just loving the drama that he could bring in a very short space of time. I could see him create substantial drama amongst people very quickly.
You say first boot, but this bloke's never lost Monopoly. How is he going to be the first boot?
I was trying to remember who said the quote in one of the early seasons of Survivor, and I thought it might have been Australian Outback, and it might have been Keith or someone like that said, I used to compare this to Monopoly. This is nothing like Monopoly. And when he said that, that's all I could think of, and I couldn't remember who actually said it. But
also, Monopoly is basically a luck game. Yeah. So I don't understand how he says he's never lost, except he might be one of these people that cheats at Monopoly. They're pocketing money from the bank, like just when you can't see them. And so there's people that play Monopoly like this, right? I reckon he's
an extra $200. It means nothing.
Yeah. Are you like that, Mark? You just
no, absolutely not. I have integrity.
Yeah. But some people play Monopoly with no rules, and I reckon Ian's playing no rules for Monopoly, and just win out. And Survivor has barely any rules, as we say constantly. Don't ask production for permission. Just do what you want to do, and let you run with it. It's the better approach, and it can win you some awards. So I think that Ian has a lot of potential here. He also has the potential very highly of going pre-merge, but I'll be here for that period.
I had Ian quite low, just not from like amazing character. I don't think he's going to be the best player. I think he has a lot of very strong beliefs, but not much nuance or suave in how to actually make those beliefs come to a tribal decision. So I can't see. Ian is not long for this game, but this game longs for Ian.
Beautiful.
Oh, that might be the quote of the episode, Mark.
Thank you very much.
That was beautiful.
Honestly, that came up that came up out of nowhere, and I was like, no.
Oh, that was poetic. I'm so here for that. That was lovely.
You've got 2 picks, Mark, and we're going to get one left over. And the leftover person is probably going to be Jo, because we haven't had a chance to seeing her video yet. So that's
I get a turn next. How did we go around a full circle and it's still not my turn?
We haven't gone. What?
No, it's me. It's me. Yeah,
Mark has 2 picks. There's been one pick.
Wait, no. I did. It's Loz. I got Rissa.
It's me.
Sorry.
It's
yes. Loz, you have 2 picks. I'm sorry.
Oh my God.
There's a certain player on the table that I cannot wait to discuss.
I'm not gonna pick him. So I know exactly who you're talking about, and he's all yours.
No.
And I'm happy to talk about it. So I'm picking Beck.
Yeah, I thought so.
So, and not because I don't want to discuss the other person, but look, Beck came across as delightful, and my concern comes back. The same with Morgan. There's a handful on the Introverts tribe who are coming across to me as super interchangeable. Morgan, Beck, Tilly. I haven't seen Joe's video, so I can't really comment. But the mum role, that kind of mum character, is great when you've got a tribe of introverts and extroverts, because extroverts love a mum character who listens to them, who tells them they're great, who tells them they're playing a good game. I believe in you, and I think that's awesome when you've got a mixed tribe. But when you've got a whole tribe of introverts who don't need as much of that positive reinforcement, they've got that kind of inner confidence themselves. I'm not sure that strategy will be as effective. And it's hard to know when you've got some really, really big players in the introvert tribe who are hiding in there, like Tyrone, like Chaos Oscar. I think Beck will have to be very nuanced in how she kind of handles those relationships. But if she does that and she makes it through, I think, into a tribe swap, Beck is sweet. I think Beck is cruising easily through to merge if she makes the tribe swap, and probably very comfortably into the jury, if not further.
I think getting Beck in this round of picking is a goldmine. She has the potential to get a lot of points. I don't think she'll be an early boot, and I agree with you. I can see her pairing up with like Shane and things like that if things happen in that direction. But that's a lot of what ifs. But yeah, she seems like someone who's not going to get antsy and let Survivor take away their common sense. Like, she seems like someone who's going to be really a hold of that. I want to jump on Danny's comment in the chat where she said they play netball together and she is a competitor. I've met these mixed netball women who are like middle-aged women, and they will box up on you, and they will like basically just use their aura. Oh but just saying, like I'm talking about like women I've versed. Okay, I'm not trying to be ageist. I'm just saying, like, I've versed like women in netball who are like mums, and they just run at you with like aura and like basically push you over without even touching you. And then after the game, they're sweet as mittens, and it's like just the duality. But I hope she can but I hope she can bring that white line fever to the social strategy part of the game as well, and not just like the challenges.
That's my concern.
The challenges are half of it.
because I think she'll do that in the challenges for sure.
Yeah.
But you have to also have that grit in the social strategy side of it. And I think if you run with the mother hen kind of character, that's fantastic, because that gives you the ability to then play that sort of secondary character, but you have to commit to both sides of it. And I just want to see her commit to that kind of duality of her gameplay. Be that mother hen, be that, challenge beast, but also actually be a strategic mastermind behind the scenes, hidden under that mother hen.
She seems like one. I feel like we've met a few Becks before, and they tend to not have much of an impact on the game, but they can travel quite well. So I really hope that she surprises me. But I can see her being a core part of a major storyline, but it just might be someone else's storyline.
Now, I will just pause for a second. Because there's 3 of us and there's 16 contestants, we have four people left for 3 spots. So I will be giving away, you can have Nat and Joe, whoever picks them, as a package, because of the fact that neither of them have videos come out yet. We do know Nat, of course, from Uncharted Waters. We have seen, we've got a little paragraph about Joe from the production. So we know a little bit, but we haven't seen a video. So, Loz, you have the next pick, but you have a choice. If you take one of those women, you get them both as a package. You get an extra player.
Okay. Look, I can't pick Joe because I don't know anything about Joe. And I do know, we know Nat from Uncharted Waters, and I absolutely loved her, and we were devastated when she went. I want to leave one particular individual for Marc, and the other. So I think we've got Chris, Deo, and then the Joe Nat combo left. Is that right?
That's right.
Is it Deo, Deo?
I think it's Deo.
Deo. Okay, so Deo's vibes to me were total KK vibes, and I just can't do it. So I'm going to go the Joe Nat combo.
I wanted the Joe Nat combo.
I know.
Who do you want to talk about first, Nat or Joe?
I can't talk about Joe. I don't know who Joe is. I don't know anything about her.
I sent you a little paragraph about her.
I was at a dinner.
Yeah, I didn't read it either.
I've watched everything else. If the video had come out, I would have watched it. It didn't. So Nat, I have high hopes. Loved her energy. Loved her chaos. Loved that she got Orca or Bromlow, whatever you call it, for her one episode. When was this filmed in comparison to
after?
Melbourne? This was after. Awesome.
Yeah,
so
this is another chance. After she played once, she went out first or second. Technically, Xavier was first, and she's had that experience.
I think she will change, though. This is the.
I don't want her to change. I want her to be exactly the same. I want to see the same Nat, and I think Nat will last longer than Ian.
Oof, big call.
So,
I think she'll learn. I think she'll learn from her first time.
Oh, fun storyline. I hate hypotheticals. I make this very clear, but I could see Shane targeting that. I feel like he's going to want to point the finger at someone in his age brackets, and that's a wide bracket. I'm just saying, but I could see Nat sticking out and him being like, "Let me get some." Yeah, I'm already seeing it, seeing the scenes.
Yeah, look, I can see Nat rubbing a whole stack of people on her tribe up the wrong way very, very quickly. But I still believe in her, and I'm excited to see her again. And you know what? If it's a second time first boot, I think, does anyone but Francesca hold that particular mantle? I mean, that is.
Are you not aware of Polly, Loz?
Who?
So in back, you obviously haven't watched all the Backyard seasons.
No,
so in
I haven't watched
Backyard 4, they they brought back the three first boots in a captain style, and then Holly's tribe voted out Holly in the first episode. So she literally got Francesca'd.
That's almost like a setup, though. This isn't a set. Like, if you're going to bring back first boots, there's almost the temptation for somebody to take a first boot out again, right?
There was
Whereas
an idol
this is
that
not-
was gifted to that tribe, and they didn't give it to her.
Yeah, it was another tribe got to give an idol to that one person from that tribe, and they didn't give it to her.
Holly.
It was crazy.
That's really
So-
mean.
So
Well,
Anyway.
I still have
Good
faith.
of
I think,
Uncharted
Matt,
Waters,
you
though.
can do it. You can bring it. And
but like, let's
I-
manifest this. Then we could have a Nat Holly X Captain season like across all Australia. Like, I'm just
That'd be
saying,
amazing.
there's
But is Nat
more.
is Nat the first boot of Uncharted Waters? Xavier's the first boot of Uncharted Waters.
Oh, damn it! She just.
I mean, because you send one to tribal first over and I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I believe in tied first boot for that. Like, both tribes got someone sent out.
Yeah, I don't think you can, just because one tribe goes before the other based on because
Take that
someone has
status
to.
away.
Okay.
They got the
Yeah.
same game time.
All right.
All right, next
All right.
person.
Okay, so if we were to, do you want to read the little summary we were given, Mark? Because that's all we've got. Why I bring up the picture of Joe.
Open. Okay, let me find it.
Joe could be amazing. We just don't have the information.
I would have
yeah, I
taken
just
the
don't have
package.
anything for
Just going off the photo, I think she has like fine vibes. Joe describes herself as someone who's more comfortable observing than taking center stage. She's hoping to settle into camp, get along with everyone, and build relationships naturally rather than forcing big moves early. She sees value in blending into the group, working well with the team, and letting the game unfold before her, deciding when to step up. She might not be the loudest personality. Joe believes that staying adaptable and keeping her threat level low could help her go deep. She's approaching the game with a calm, considered mindset, building trust, finding people just to see how far she can go.
Sounds solid.
I think she knows how she wants to play the game, but I think she's really happy taking a back seat. She's not giving much beyond being a number, which I'm here for television, and I don't get television from Joe.
Yeah,
but
I
we
didn't
get
get
television from Nat, right? So you know, the package works as balance.
Yeah, the package. All right. So I've get my last pick. I've got a choice of two people, and I'm just going to go with this one because I can make a funny joke about it. Chris does not strike me as a strong Survivor player, but he looks like the kind of guy that could go really deep in Lego Masters, and maybe he can apply that to this Survivor game. So I'm all here for Lego Master Chris.
Oh, Chris's video was, I just loved it. And I'm sure it's authentically him. And I wonder if he realizes just how quirky he is and how unintentionally funny he comes across with his kind of quirkiness. I would not know what to talk to Chris about, I don't think. I have no idea how he'll go. I think it could go really bad really quick. I think he could be in an introvert tribe. He could just be too different. And it's just it makes the introverts a little uncomfortable. On an extrovert tribe, you know, if he made it to the tribe swap, he might be so quirky that he's ideal for the extroverts to keep around. I don't know. He is such a wild card.
I think he has a good read on people and the game, and I do think his experience at the supermarket will expose him to many different people, many different complainers, or bitching and moaning about whatever. I think that he has the capability to fit in with different groups, as he mentioned, younger groups and older groups. I don't think he will come across as threatening. I think he is cerebral and may have the ability to play a strong strategic game, but I think that he won't be immediately seen in that in that way. I think there's other people on his tribe that will be seen as more strategically strong, and I don't think he will push himself out of that characterization immediately. So I think he has the potential to be an easy vote if people are looking for an easy consensus, because of the general age demographic of the introverts is a bit younger. I think if he can get further in the game, I think he's one of those players that's just not going to be seen as a huge threat, and there's going to be bigger targets. And when you are that sort of player, that actually gives you some room to make some moves, because you're not fearful of the moves because you'll get immediately voted out because you're a big target making moves. You're an under the radar type player who's made moves, and that can justify success and victory, and making those sorts of moves a great outcome. So I think there's a huge potential there. I also think he said the most introverted thing of any of them. He compared Survivor to a bowl of salad. Like, if you get, I get that he's going with the food metaphor, but like, salad is boring. Maybe the introverts are just one big bowl of salad.
I need a drink before I do this.
Why are you
So
what is this running joke between you and Deo about not wanting to pick him? What is this, Finn?
Well, we'll get to it. But no, I want to talk about Chris just quickly. I don't want to just compare him to previous players because, new season, not everyone's on board with the history. But I'm getting a mashup of Aaron and Xavier from the previous
vibes.
Yeah, where I can see him just kind of being on the fringes and peripherals, but then going into his video and how he talks to people, he's going to play that game of Loz and I had a conversation, so Loz and I are good. But that conversation was about fucking salad, not voting someone out. So that's just not going to translate to gaining ground in the game. And I can see him really letting the game passing him by being well, we spoke about all these things that weren't Survivor. Why am I voted out? That's kind of how I can see the journey going for Chris.
This is a great Simpsons reference from Mac. You don't make friends with salad. It's a high quality Simpsons reference. Thank you. That's why I drafted Mac for the Simpsons references. All right, so I don't know why Deo has ended up being the last pick. You guys have been having some weird little. Is this the one that you've been you don't want? You were trying to give to Marc, Loz. Is this the bit?
Oh, look, no, there was. It was. I think that was another thing. But for me,
it was Deo. I didn't want Deo.
Yeah, so for me, Deo it's just KK vibes, and I'm just a bit burnt still by how Uncharted Waters played out. So, and he actually said things that I think were direct quotes of KK's, which
I got things to say. There's this youthful arrogance about not respecting the game and not respecting the value it gets from learning the game and thinking he can transcend that, and how not knowing anything will just make him a better player. What? I find that so offensive. I'm not saying you have to be the biggest Survivor fan in order to do well. You can win a season by not being a good Survivor fan, just having good social skills. But the arrogance that came with, I'll just do better by not. It was lazy. I thought it was really lazy, not doing your homework and then blaming the game. But yeah, it's a lot of bad behavior I see in my students. I see in Deo, and that was why I was very frustrated watching his video. Also, a few things. He talked about being like a puppy at one point. I thought he was a lost puppy on the wrong tribe. I feel like this man belongs in the introvert tribe more than the extrovert tribe. And he started a really bad thing for me where I got so fed up with him, I actually stopped his video early. And yeah, just I was done. If I was in this game and that was his first impression, he would be my first target.
I think he has the potential. Oh, sorry, I muted you because you got noise.
Sorry, I know. I think he'll do really well. I think he'll get far in the game. I really do. I think on an extrovert tribe, anyone who isn't there vying for control and power and isn't, you know, putting themselves out there as a big threat becomes a very useful pawn for those who end up getting the power. And I see that in Deo. And I hope he brings it, but I'm not holding my breath. And I'm the same as Mark. I respect the game so much that to say strategy doesn't matter, knowing the game doesn't matter, he's just only there to have fun and have a good time and leave. He doesn't care what happens. It hurts my heart a little bit. So
what I hate is that if he does well though, Loz, he's gonna like, let's say he beats one of our placements by 1. He will walk away from this experience being like, I'm a great Survivor player. I came 3rd. I'm really good. And it's like, you got to 3rd by having no win equity. You had no potential to actually win the game that you were playing. You were just a piece on the board that was being moved around while people ate chips. Like, you just are not essential. And we want people to be essential. You can be a second boot and be essential to the game. But, I really hope he brings it, because the energy we got in the Meet the Cast was someone who doesn't want to bring it. They want other people to bring the game.
Are you just very concerned this is going to be another Christelle and go to the end and get no votes and do nothing? I don't know. I think he could at least bring some fun. He's a joker. He says he's a fool, self-described fool, like a joker fool, jester.
But to me though, that still comes across as like a youthful arrogance, like haha, 6'7", that's really funny. I'm a jester. Like, I just don't think it'll land with these people. Like,
I don't think it will land either, but I think Oz makes a very strong point that if you are one of the least extroverted people on the extroverted tribe, you are gonna get picked up by somebody else as a number. I think Loz is spot on about that.
I hate this about orcas and people like me, where like they want control, they want to take out the big dogs. I'm like, no, play with the big dogs, take out the smaller people. It frustrates me that people get blinded by this competition. Like,
you're a man of your word, Mark. This is true. You took out Tommy. He was hardly a big dog. That's who you went for first. The young dog that needed help and guidance and looking for a friend. You took him out the back and shot him instead.
Yeah, Mark.
Hey, I had incentive. Okay, I had incentive.
You know what I'm saying? What I'm saying is you practice what you preach. It's exactly how you played. You didn't target a big player like you targeted the pieces.
I went for Jess when we were split. We're not talking about 5 here. But...
Yeah. So
we'll see.
That is the draft. We will be covering this season. I can't wait to cover. I think. What do we think about the theme? I think there's the potential the introverts could be incredibly boring, but conceptually, I like the idea.
I don't think it'll matter. It's only going to last 2 votes.
Before they swap, you think?
Yeah, because it would be so incredibly boring. I think introverts play a certain way, and it's just the fact of the matter that there'll be less risky behavior, safer votes, low-key playing until the extroverts get involved, and then it heats up.
Yeah.
I agree. There does need to be an early swap, but I could see more than 2, like 3 or so. You need the connections to like matter before a swap, right? But I think the spice comes from these 2 groups mixing together after building a bit of identity in themselves.
Tyrone's annoyed that I'm calling his tribe boring. It's not you, Tyrone. We think that if you go back to the bit you missed, you're in the wrong tribe. You're in some serious trouble based on that. But I still drafted you. We love you. Don't give away idols.
Tyrone should have been swapped.
Don't give away your idols for no reason this time, please. Please keep them. All right. Thank you to everyone who's joined us live. We will be covering this season live on the interwebs on Monday evenings, commencing Monday week. The first episode airs next Wednesday, so make sure you're prepared for that and have us liked and subscribed so you can see us talking about all of the content from Sydney Survivor 2 Can't wait to see who wins, how it plays out. The intros versus the extros. See who wins the Brommy for the first week, who becomes eligible to join the Congress of the Orcas. If you join that Congress, you might be up on screen with us one day, and there would really be no greater achievement in your actual life. It's something you can put on your gravestone, on your epitaph, that you were the Orca of Sydney 2. There is no greater achievement in life. So thank you, Tyrone. We love to hear that. We will go nuts. Anyone else wants to give permission for us to go mean as fuck, please do so in the comments. Otherwise, it would be reasonably nice. We will be then. We love you being here live. We love having your comments to react to. Please be here live if you can. If you can't, you'll be able to watch on YouTube, on Facebook, listen on Spotify after the fact. We know some people do. We love you. We just love you like a little bit less. So try to be here live if you can on Monday nights, but otherwise you'll be able to see all our coverage on your favorite streams. Just make sure to follow and subscribe. We will see you in a week and a bit. And until then, we shall dance.